Hello, beautiful people. How are you? Welcome to our live that we're going to talk today about mental health. Jimena is going to join me in just a moment and we'll be sharing with you some thoughts and feelings about mental health for young people. Maybe share a few techniques, definitely share some, and share a lot of insights that hopefully will help you to understand what is going on and how you and me and all of us together can help. So I'm just gonna try to find Jimena here. I might give her a call on the other line because I thought I'll be able to see her. Here's Mena. Here she is. Mena, you there? Meanwhile, I see that a lot of you are joining, so thank you. I'm here in Byron Bay, Australia, and Jimena is in Mexico City.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the two sides of the world. Here in Australia, it's daytime and it's winter, and up there in Mexico, it's summer
Yeah.
and it's nighttime. So it's the yin and yang, and let's talk
Exactly.
about how to balance all of this today. So again, thank you for being here. So I want to tell you a little bit about my journey with yoga and how it all connects, of course, to mental health. So I started practicing yoga in my very early teens. I was just 12 years old practicing yoga and mindfulness, and it helped me immensely with everything that I did. It helped me with my studies at school. I didn't really like school. I was in a music high school and I was only regular in going to the music classes. The other classes I pretty much skipped. But I still have fantastic grades from high school, and it's because before every exam, I did a few breathing exercises. I stood on my head for 5 minutes and I just knew everything. It was easy. And it is the power of yoga to calm down my mind and to access all the knowledge that was already there. It also helped me with music. I always practice meditation, guided imagery before playing concerts. Yeah, and that gave me um, the calmness and the centeredness that I needed to connect to myself and play music from my heart. Um, and then, yeah, when I was 16, I ran away from home and I went to India and really got into yoga full-heartedly. I was a Hindu monk for 10 years, and being a monk uh, actually was, well, some parts of it were hard, but other parts were really easy. You know, I didn't have a bank account, I didn't have property, I didn't have loans or credit cards. I didn't have rent to pay, I didn't need to buy my own food, I didn't have any worries. And together with the practice of yoga and mindfulness, it was easy to be happy all the time and big happy after a few years of deep practice. Um, and when I left the ashram, I sustained that state of mind for a long time. But you know, life has a tendency to get more and more complicated. And now I'm in the late part of my 40s. I have many new realizations about life, especially with the COVID. I struggled with my own mental health, and while before, in some ways, I didn't really understand mental health and depression as much as I do now, because I thought, hey, what's the problem? If you're not happy, just decide to be happy, and you can be happy. You know, because that's the experience I had in the ashram, working with them, with mindfulness. But in real life, things can be a lot more complicated. Happiness is not such an easy thing to do, even though it might be our natural state, or maybe it's not. It takes a lot of effort to be happy when life is so overwhelming. And, you know, being unhappy sometimes it's totally normal. Being sad, even very sad, you know, when tough things are happening, breakups or some trouble of one kind or another. That's natural. But what we are dealing with now is ongoing stress, day and night, day after day, week after week, month after month, and now year after year. A lot of us, most of us, are experiencing high levels of stress, and this is persistent stress. It's not going away. Every day is stressful. And folks, if you and me are feeling it, kids are feeling it too. Life is too fast, too noisy, too busy, too much. And our nervous system is just not made for those prolonged stressful conditions. It's made for short stresses, in our body, our nervous system reacts and we are ready. But being all the time on alert, being all the time in the sympathetic nervous system, being all the time stressed has terrible effects on our body, our health, yes, but even more so on our mental health. Prolonged stress creates anxiety, anxiety creates depression, and suicide is the number two cause of death now. No, it's the number one cause of death. I think even more than car accidents.
Accidents.
Yeah, um, among young people, teenagers. So we are dealing with the real pandemic now, not a virus, but the mental health pandemic. And I have news for you. You and me, we can all make a difference. We can help. I can tell you that yoga can help. Yeah, it's not a magic pill. Happiness takes work. It takes effort. It takes determination. In the beginning, it's tiny, tiny steps to get out of this state of mind of stress or anxiety or depression. But the more tiny steps we take, it makes it easier to take a little bit bigger steps and a little bit bigger and sustain a better state of mind. But at this point of life in the world, we can't just let it go and do nothing about stress, because so quickly we get sucked into this cycle and go deep into our anxiety or stress again, because it is too much. Yeah, we need to admit it. Look around you, things have changed so much, of course, since the Industrial Revolution, sure, but even more so since the communication revolution, technological revolution. Look, 10 years ago, we didn't have smartphones. You didn't carry the whole world with you everywhere you went. And I mean everywhere, even to the toilet. We carry whatever troubles are happening on the other side of the world and everyone else's troubles. It is relentless. We are under stress all the time. On top of it, we have financial stress and all of those things. And it does affect our children. Our children, they do not live in a bubble. They are not a different species to us. We feel it, they feel it even more. And it's our duty to help ourselves, of course, and to also help the next generation, because we want to see a world that's not just on this hamster wheel or the treadmill, just running, 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 and we don't even know where we are running. And at the end, we just can't do this anymore. And this is the feeling that a lot of young people that I meet feel. I just can't handle this anymore. This is all too much, and they are ready to give up. So we need to help young people have a new purpose and new perspective. This is what mindfulness is about: being able to step away from our mind, from our thoughts, from our troubles. Take a little step away and look at the bigger picture. Take a deep breath, and instead of being on an automatic pilot, make some conscious decisions towards happiness. Instead of being in the middle of the storm, drowning in the whirlpools of life, we need to learn to surf the waves, to stay on top, and find glimmers of happiness amidst this thunderstorm that is happening around us. All right, this is my introduction. Let's
That's
see what
your
you think.
introductions. Yeah, I have a shorter one, maybe, because The difference is that I actually, entered this kind of yoga and meditation life because of my mental health many years ago. Actually, I was visiting an old friend this morning because she's a friend of mine when I used to study veterinarian, and she asked me, what happened when you quit the veterinarian life. And I just told her, like I had this mental break, down to I had to run away from here because Mexico City was driving me crazy, and I went to live a couple of many months to the beautiful Caribbean Mexican beaches, and everything, was like, yeah, this is the deal, this is the the happy pill. But the really happy pill was for me that I found yoga, or maybe yoga found me over there. Actually, I found this amazing Greek teacher that conducted me to these new ways of breathing, actually breathing exercises and moving. So I was like, oh, so this is the way I can feel, this is the way my body feels better. I I saved many surgeries that I didn't have to go under, physically, but also it really helped my mental health all over these years. Um, Actually, hi Lily. So this is and actually this is happening to me right now. Like I have been struggling with some symptoms, like all the itis, all the inflammation, like my joints and my belly, and yeah, people around me, medical ways are just saying, yeah, that's the stress, like you are in this sympathetic nervous system, and your nervous is not going back, like we need to fix that. um, and that's when I know the answer, like, yeah, if you want to, let me close the window because, as you already said, it's summer over here, but it's raining like crazy. um, yeah, I have the clue, I have the answer. um, Thank you for helping me, for everything that's happening, like the symptoms and stuff. But actually, the psychiatrist told me, um, you know what will help you, and I was hoping like he was giving me like a pill for anxiety and stuff, and he told me mindfulness. So yeah, he gave me my own pill, and that's the magic, because as you have said, the world now is like backwards, like I don't know, it feels like you can catch up. So with all these feelings that we are having, and I know kids are having those too, um, we need to get these tools together and remind ourselves that maybe it's not as easy as it was maybe 20 years ago, but also um, maybe we are more connected and aware and easily to share these kind of tools to all the people and our communities, and the thing that we do with teachers and kids.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I think we are all aware, and we also all have a lot more tools. So the next step is actually to do the things that we know we need to do,
That's it.
and this is again the wonderful thing about the work we do, because a lot of parents and a lot of teachers know what the right thing to do or what the kids needs, but really we are always in a rush. We always have to run to the next thing, or prepare for this exam, or do whatever work we need to do at school or at home, and we just don't take the extra few minutes to connect with each other or to take care of our mental health. And that's also the problem in our world, because our phones, for example, they help us to connect to people on the other side of the world, Hola México, ¿cómo están?
Yeah.
¿Cómo están? Um, yeah, it helps to connect to the other people in the world, but it actually takes away from the connection from the people that are right next to us. Um, our loved ones and our children and so on. And even at schools, even if the teachers don't have the phones with them, the teachers have so much paperwork and reports to fill up and all of those things that take away the time from doing the real work that we need to do and share the extra love and support and tools that can help the kids deal with this crazy world.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the thing. I was this weekend with sharing with a couple of um, yoga teachers and ballet teachers and any other kind of musician. Actually, there's a music, a piano teacher that worked with kids, and they were like, we were studying a different kind of thing that was not yoga, um, but when they try to answer the question that what are you doing in here, or why are you going deep and deep in this information, they answer almost the same, like, I want to know ways to help my students, because I know like the attention span is um, smaller every time. The anxiety that they are showing, the feelings, um, all the symptoms. Because I remember 30 years ago when I was a kid. Yeah, when I was like in elementary school, I used to have a lot of symptoms because, yeah, always like a very high sensitive person. Um, but it was 30 years ago. It wasn't even as busy and as in a rush, and that's like it's not as it is now. So I just can imagine if I felt that way 30 years ago and had many, stomach issues and skin issues, and all the diagnoses were like, yeah, this is because she's nervous, so she's anxious. And yes, I was. But just imagine all this stimulation and all the, like this many tasks that kids need to do, and the the attention that kids are like craving, maybe they are not getting them from where they need to. It's like the parents or the teachers, so they are getting the attention from social media, and that's the thing. It's a dopamine kind of thing that we are not like paying attention. And the
yeah,
the thing is, like, many teachers or many people, even if like you are not like a teacher in a school or something, want to know these tools not only for themselves, like me when I started, like I was looking for an answer to me for myself, but also to share with their students, with their families, with their kids. Like, I know that there's something that I can do. Maybe I don't know what is it. So here's like what we can, start to do, this slow kind of living that we used to, and all these tools that we know, because inside of us there's this wisdom.
yeah. No, and that's the thing. There's a lot we can do. First of all, we have numbers to show us that mental health issues have increased among everyone, but even more so among young people.
Yeah.
The last 10 years, basically, in the last 50 years, every 10 years, mental health issues have doubled. And some people say it's because we are more aware and we diagnose it more, but most scientists and researchers say that no, this is real. Mental health issues are increasing, and yes, there is a lot we can do, and we know what to do. We need to move more. We need to spend a bit more quiet time as well to gain new perspective of our life before we emerge back to the world. We need to feel more connected with the people around us. We need to play more. All of this is part of what we can do. And like this, the way I'm teaching yoga to kids have also evolved through the years. You know, in the beginning when I taught yoga for kids, well, I very quickly realized that teaching yoga to kids like we teach yoga to adults doesn't work so well because it's boring.
Yeah.
And my mission was to make yoga fun, so that kids will want to do yoga more, that they will be engaged in doing yoga. And this is a lot what our training is about. It's about how to make yoga fun. But fun is not a frivolous thing. It's not just, oh, we're just having fun, because fun, play and fun, they release tension, they release stress. Fun also connects us to other people, which is this very important element of mental health, because fun is something we do together. And fun also teaches us all the life skills that we want to teach the next generation. It teaches us about sharing and friendship and compassion and communication and negotiation and consent and trust and so on and so on. Everything we want to pass on to our children.
Exactly.
So fun is so important. But in the last 5 years or so, I really have shifted a lot of the way I teach yoga to kids to include a lot more mental health. Every single class I teach has has parts where we learn coping
Yeah.
skills uh, with young people, and of course it's different for different age groups. You know, the young people, we use stories and analogy and the symbolism in animals. You know, like owls are very wise, monkeys are playful, fish are very quiet, sloths are very slow, and tigers move very mindfully. Yeah, and this is the way we teach them to be mindful in a way that they understand and can bring into their life easily. And older kids, we teach them to be aware of their thoughts, to be aware of their feelings, so that they can create the life that they want to live, so that they are not just tossed here and there by everything that comes in and out of their minds. Um, so yes, there is a lot we can do, and a lot of what I do now in the yoga classes, and we also teach in our trainings, is based on real science that we have right now. And you know, most of the science around this, they don't invent new exercises. A lot of those exercises we have been doing in yoga and
Yeah.
yes, you know, for decades. But now we have proof that those things do
Works.
help very much, and therapists, psychologists, they use the same tool as well. And what we want is not children to have to keep coming to a yoga class. We want to have them learning tools so that they can use them anywhere, anytime. Just like I learned to stand on my head and do some breathing exercise before an exam, we want kids to learn to do their breathing and mindfulness, to calm themselves down, to focus themselves, to ground themselves when they need to. So this is a real gift we are giving to children, to families, to school, and to the world.
Yeah.
The world is not going to slow down time
No.
soon. You know, this is just the beginning of it. You know, technology is evolving so fast, and you and me, we're only seeing the edge of the iceberg of the technology that already exists right now. This technology is going to take us to the stars. This technology is going to be inside of us. This technology, um, hopefully, is also going to fix all the things that we have done to harm the environment.
Yeah.
Um, it's just going to be more and more and more part of our life, and it is our responsibility to find the balance with all this increasing speed of life that causes us so much stress and distress. Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to this. I love to listen to podcasts while I drive and go around because Mexico City, a lot of traffic while you are driving. So I always am listening to some. kind of medical advice. But I love this specific podcast because many of the doctors, very professional Harvard medical experience doctors, end up saying the same as we used to like already know many years ago, but now like there's science like proving, no? Like as you said, like this morning I was listening to this doctor saying something about the vagus nervous, the yeah, in the sympathetic nervous system, in the vagus nerve. And this the doctor that was interviewing him was like, yeah, well, what's what we can do. And he was, okay, so breathe deeply. And there's like these exercises that already like invite these stressful moments. And for you to be able to breathe while the stress, and he was saying like yoga, for example, they put you in a stressful pose, or in a stressful because you bend, or you are holding the position for 10 breaths, and like there's a specific provoked stress, and you learn to deep breathe over there. So like he was sharing this like these things that were like, I was listening, I was like, yeah, that's what we already know. Like he was, yeah, let's this like humming, and like the vibration of the voice while you are doing the humming, and it helps moving, like there's like a lot of anatomical explanation about it. But yeah, that's why we sing, and that's why we breathe, and that's why we share with the kids all this V kind of breath and the bunny kind of breath, because we already knew. And the amazing thing is that there's now a lot of psychologists and therapists that they're turning their heads to what we teach. And that's awesome, because now we can not only focus on the yeah, let's all do yoga, but let's all do yoga to do what we already wanted to do many years ago: save the world. Because as you said, there's this part of the brain when you contact with happiness and the fun part of life that make easier for kids to learn. Because there's this part of the brain that if you feel not safe, you are not learning. And the thing is, kids maybe are in this kind of fight or flight situation. They don't like really know, because kids, we know because we are grown-ups. And then is where we can jump in and share with all of those people that is like, yeah, what can we do? Yeah, this is what we can do.
Right, right. Yeah. um, there is, and I think it's wonderful that we can see all of this with science,
Yeah.
how it works right now. Um, and yeah, I mean, we see it on a daily basis, how this can help children. And I see my children, and I see children that I teach use breathing, use tapping, uses mindfulness and guided imagery on a daily basis. They know that this is the way they need now. Those are the tools that they need, and they use them because they do work. Yeah. And I wish that someone would have taught us when we were young, and that's why we are here. So yeah, the way we share yoga with kids is, we can do a whole class, or we can just share a moment here, a moment there. If you are an educator and you work with kids, you don't have to do an hour-long yoga class. You can share a bit of breathing here, a bit of mindfulness there, a few stretches to release stress at another time of the day. And in the process, you give children life tools that will serve them forever. Yeah.
So what can, like from the top of your mind, what's like the coolest coping skill that you have learned or see that that helps, like for kids, maybe, like what have you, like you have in mind, like, yeah, this thing that I taught, I have seen that's amazing for them.
Yeah. There are many of them. I mean, the one that I see kids using the most is the hands breath, because you can do it anywhere, anytime, without anyone noticing what you're doing. So you breathe in when you trace your finger up, and you breathe out when you trace down, and you just do it nice and slow. And when you get to the other side, yeah,
Yeah.
you backwards, and you can do it secretly before an exam. You can do it whenever you start feeling anxious, stressed. Also, the square breath. Lots of kids like using this. So 4 breaths, 4 seconds breathing in, 4 seconds holding the breath, 4 seconds breathing out, 4 seconds holding the breath, and repeating. It's easy. No one needs to see it and know that you're doing it, and it calms your nervous system down. Tapping is very useful. Sometimes I see kids using this technique. I show them with the butterfly tapping, just tapping the shoulders. But if this is too visible, you can just tap your wrist or any part of the body. And then there are many mindfulness techniques. Sometimes it's simple questions like, um, how will this look like to me in a week, in a month, in a year? It helps us step back and put things in
Good.
perspective. Or sometimes it's as simple as asking ourselves this wonderful question: "Hey, how am I?" You know, I like asking myself this question, and I encourage kids. It's a mindfulness exercise, asking, "Hey, how am I?" And when you take a moment to tune in and to see how you are feeling, and you ask yourself this question again and again and again until you get to the root of it, until you stop saying all those automatic answers we always give to other, like okay, fine, good. When you get to how you feel, then you know why you are reacting to people and situations the way you are, and you can stop being this automatic machine pilot just reacting to things, and start consciously behaving in the way you want to behave, and making the decisions you want to make, and saying the words you really want to say, not just reacting like that, because you can take responsibility of your feelings and you can act from there. Um, but again, there are hundreds of techniques, hundreds,
Yeah.
and each person, each child needs to find what works for them, and it's good to have a few tools in your toolbox to work with, and to reach for when you need it. And of course, yoga. This is an ancient saying in yoga. Yoga is an attitude. Of course, it's all the practices. But the more you practice, you create a new attitude. You create new pathways in your brain that help you to see the positive um, things in life, in situations, in people, and to react not with anger and frustration and anxiety and stress, but to react um, in a more positive way to all of this craziness of life. Yeah, so again, it's one little step at a time. We create new neural pathways, and we create new habits and new ways of seeing life, and new ways of perceiving and experiencing life. There is now research that shows how one thought creates literally millions of reactions in our body and our brain. And one tiny thought about how something is bad, or we look bad, or we don't feel good, makes us feel that same thing in our body through those millions of reactions, and then we feel it, and then we think about it, and in this endless loop we sink lower and lower into this state of mind. But in the same way, one positive thought, one happy thought, one good thought, one step is a huge step towards happiness, because it starts a million processes in our body that makes us feel good, and will slowly create this ripple effect for us to actually feeling good and seeing everything around us as good. So you might think it's little tools, and it's just a minute of doing this, a minute of doing that, breathing, mindfulness, but it has huge effects. We don't think into depression or even um, um, persistent anxiety or stress, in a minute or an hour or a day. It's it's one thought and then another and then another, and then we are in a hole that's very hard to climb out of. And again, the only way to climb out of it is step by step by step, one foot in front of the other. And every one of those little techniques can make a huge difference in kids' lives. And again, this making making a difference in someone's life is also making a difference in the world. Yeah. Some people think that being happy is selfish or something, but it's actually the best gift that you can give to the world. When you are down, you drag everyone down with you, and when you are happy, you uplift everyone. So, like this, if we can all take care of our own mind and help other people do the same by teaching yoga and mindfulness, so come to our trainings and learn them. Keep sharing. Yeah, this is a real gift to the world. This is how we change the world. It's a ripple effect. A family can be very happy a few years ago, but now things are messy. Why? Because so many of us are experiencing financial stress, social stress. So many of us are so busy, too busy to take care of ourselves, too busy to take care of each other. But a minute here, a minute there of breathing, mindfulness, a bit of stretching, yoga, a bit of connection, all of this will add up to turn things around at home or in the classroom. Um, so it is essential. Yoga is not anymore just a privilege and something, that is great to do to have a better looking bum. Now, it's something. It's a duty. It's a duty for ourselves, for our children, for our students. If we are educators at schools, we have to care for ourselves for the sake of everyone, and we have to take care of each other. We have to teach young people those tools for the sake of the world, for their own sake, because if we don't teach them those tools, we put them in a huge risk for a variety of mental health and death, because
Yeah.
now numbers are coming out that one out of two means 50% of all teenagers will try to commit suicide during this time period of their life, 12 to 18. That's a huge number. Um,
Wow.
by not teaching young people coping skills, by not teaching them mindfulness and yoga and breathing, we are putting them at risk of all of this. So every time we share a little bit of those tools with them, we are giving them a gift. We're giving them hope, and through them, we do it for the whole world. So if you're out there and you're thinking, how am I going to do it? This is what we are here for. We have um, so much experience in teaching yoga. I've been teaching kids yoga for 32 years now. It's a whole lot of time, and we have been doing our Rainbow Kids Yoga teacher trainings since 2007. That's a very long time, and have trained over 35,000 kids yoga teachers. That's a whole bunch of people, and we want you to join our tribe and share those tools with everyone, because it is so much needed. And you are needed. All of us are needed so much more than ever before. We need to help each other. Um, yeah, so I really hope you come. If you haven't already, come and take our training. And if you have taken level 1, come to level 2, when we learn even more about teaching meaningful theme and life lessons through yoga and yoga for mental health. This is all in our level 2 training. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So um, the I think just 2 points to really like reinforce is that mindfulness. Why? Like why mindfulness is helping? Like I have friends that haven't being in touch with yoga or meditation, and they tell me like what that mindfulness thing. And the thing is that you said like one thought can create like thousands of or millions of reactions, like physical ones, but also like those like physiological reactions have emotional reactions. uh, so why do I want to be aware of my mind? Because what you are thinking, maybe you are not aware of, but you are feeling it. And that's how you connect with all around you. And the word resilience, is it in English? um
resilient.
well, in Spanish, is resiliencia. And I really like, it's not my favorite word because I am tired of being resilient. But for kids, I think it's a must, because as you said at the beginning, in the beginning, the world is not getting slower. Hi, Luis. And the
Hello.
world is not
Hi.
getting any easier, but we can help kids to get a little more resilient, and to give these strategies, these tools that then can. Hola.
Hola.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien. Feliz.
So we have out here past grads and amazing people that can share their experiences, because Gopal and I can talk and talk and talk. But what are your experiences in rainbow yoga? What have you felt, and why did you approach to rainbow yoga in the beginning of
Yeah.
you know
You go first. Eh, in
en
English or
Spanish,
in
en
Spanish?
Spanish, puedes
Well,
Okay, in
comentarnos por
Spanish.
qué te
Sí, sí,
acercaste al yoga,
sí.
qué te
Ay,
dio
bueno.
Rainbow Yoga, qué pasa,
Ay, a mí me
qué
dio
te...
todo. Yo estoy
Para empezar,
feliz.
bienvenida.
Gracias, gracias.
Ay, qué gusto verte.
Hace mucho que no me conectaba. Yo estoy aquí en México, pero bueno, soy argentina, pero vivo hace mucho. Y yo me encanta. Le quiero agradecer a Gopala porque ay, me ha dado muchas cosas, pero saben chicos, lo que yo descubrí en mí, yo siempre decía que quería enseñar a niños, pero no me he dado cuenta que los niños a los que yo les enseño yoga son niños que están aquí
Eh,
adentro. Entonces no
exacto.
solamente a chicos, sino que ahora retomé este plan de enseñar, de que la gente grande conecte con su niño. Entonces
Wow.
estoy aplicando las clases de Gopala
Ajá.
a la gente grande, adaptando algunas cosas, obviamente, ¿no? Que no pueden saltar tanto, pero tengo señoras de 70 años felices, bailando, moviéndose, tirándose al piso. Se olvidan, cuando es una clase normal de yoga, ay no, que no puedo. Cuando son
Ah,
clases de Rainbow Yoga, las ves rodando y se olvidan y no les duele nada. Entonces,
qué bueno.
eso me encanta y
yeah.
bueno.
Did you got like what
Sí,
Nilo what saying, what sharing?
entiendo todo, todo, sí.
Yeah, that's an
Ah, sí.
amazing thing. That's an amazing thing, because people like usually ask me, what, but you teach rainbow to kids, and I'm like, yeah, but I love to teach, rainbow yoga to grown-ups too,
Ujú.
because we need it so
Ujú.
much. Like we have our inner kid inside in here. Lo
Sí.
tenemos aquí adentro. Vamos a
Ujú.
conectar con ese niño, vamos a validar a esa niña, vamos a escuchar a ese niño y vamos a la edad que tenga,
Sí.
enseñarle estas herramientas para
Ujú.
enfrentar la vida con un poquito más
Sí.
de ligereza, tal
Sí.
vez.
Y, y es una materia pendiente, yo estoy de acuerdo con Gopala lo de los adolescentes, pero no he sabido cómo llegar, pero quiero, o sea, sé que algún día voy a lograr eso también, porque estoy de acuerdo con él que los adolescentes necesitan mucho yoga, pero como que se escabullen, ¿no? Yo no sé cómo a veces cómo conectar con ellos, ¿no? Pero
I,
este, sí,
teens,
estoy de
you
acuerdo.
know, teens for many teachers, algunos maestros creen que los adolescentes son como que te imponen, ¿no? Cuando trabajamos con adolescentes.
Sí.
Solo hay que encontrar, es como encontrar una llavecita y una vez que la encuentras,
Ujú.
ah, de verdad es un grupo maravilloso para conectar. Estoy segura que en cuanto encuentres esa llavecita que está dentro de ti, porque no está afuera,
Ujú.
ya con eso vas a armarla súper bien.
Sí. Así que les recomiendo a todos que hagan, que tomen el curso ¿cómo es?
De
De Rainbow Kids
Rainbow
Yoga,
Yoga, Rainbow Kids
que es
Yoga,
muy
sí.
fácil, y aparte, aunque digo, bueno, yo sé que está en español, pero aunque esté en inglés, yo le entiendo, así como sé que él me entiende a mí, yo le entiendo, o sea, conectamos, se despiertan otras cosas ahí y yo le
Ujú.
entiendo todo lo que dice, así que sé que cualquiera le puede entender también, así que
Claro, claro. Y además,
sí.
¿sabes qué pasa? Que Rainbow Yoga es una escuela internacional
Ujú,
en la cual habemos pues un maestro, ¿no? Por cada continente que
ujú,
habla el
sí,
idioma que se habla en ese continente y que
ujú,
si no estás familiarizada con el idioma, a lo mejor con el inglés, siempre estamos otras personas en el equipo que podemos ayudarte a lo que
ujú,
se necesite, porque lo que bien dices, el lenguaje va más allá de las palabras, ¿no? La comunicación y
así
la
es,
conexión es más allá de las palabras.
exacto.
Sí,
Bueno, muchas
qué bueno, gusto
gracias.
verte.
Sí, muchas gracias. Gracias, Gopala, y gracias
Qué lindo que
ahí
te
a
conectaste.
Luis. Sí, fue
Yeah,
de
I
casualidad.
didn't know what buttons I'm pressing, but I'm happy I pressed.
Yeah, well, you are trying, but it works amazingly.
Así es,
Yeah.
así es. Muy bien.
Y
Gracias.
gracias. Y también tenemos aquí a Luis, las personas que
Yeah,
no conocen a Luis. Luis es
yeah.
director de Centro NAM, que es la escuela que nos
Ah,
abre las puertas para compartir Rainbow Yoga aquí en Ciudad de México y que tiene muchísimos
ujú,
años recibiéndonos ya, año con año.
ujú.
Así que muchas gracias, Luis, por conectarte.
No, encantado. Y la verdad es que desde que conocemos a Gopala ya hace muchos años ha sido un privilegio tenerlos con nosotros allí en Centro NAM. Y sí, también me gustaría decirle a la gente que, pues que es un entrenamiento que a mí me parece que Gopala lo diseñó de una manera, vamos, eficiente, espectacular, es divertido. Yo de los que hemos sido anfitriones de muchos entrenamientos y de verdad que hemos conectado muy bien con Rainbow Kids Yoga, con Gopala, contigo, Jimé. Y la verdad es que es un entrenamiento muy bonito, bien pensado, transmite a los niños las herramientas, siembra una semillita, ¿no? Para cuando sean adolescentes o incluso sean ya mayores, se lleven esas herramientas consigo, ¿no? Y las mantengan y se den cuenta que puede ser algo divertido. Y finalmente, ejercicios tan sencillos que están en Rainbow Kids Yoga de respiración, por ejemplo, con juego. Sabemos que la respiración al final del día es una herramienta sagrada, súper poderosa, que nos puede cambiar simplemente respirando de una manera correcta, nos cambia la vida a todos, ¿no? Entonces, poder llegar con esas cosas a los niños de manera divertida, tomar en cuenta lo que los niños esperan, sus necesidades, porque son niños, ¿no? Y los niños aquí vienen, ¿qué necesitan los niños? Jugar, divertirse, ¿no? Por ejemplo, yo tengo una hija toda pequeña, 7 años, y en la escuela que estaba, cuando sale de la escuela, le preguntamos, ¿qué hiciste? Jugamos, hicimos, y lo que pensamos, wow.
Ujú.
Mm.
Creo que, no sé, te dejé de escuchar.
Sí, no se escucha.
Creo que te dejamos de escuchar.
Mm.
Ya, sí.
Ah, ok.
Decís que
Pues
sale
es
Emma de la
que
escuela y sale feliz.
le preguntamos, ¿qué hiciste? Jugamos. Ajá, y entonces, de eso se trata, que los niños jueguen. Y ahora es momento para que los niños aprendan otras cosas, que si matemáticas, que si inglés, lo van a aprender. Pero yo creo que los primeros años, ajá, Rainbow Kids Yoga aporta muchísimo en ese sentido a los niños, que es algo divertido, es algo que les da conciencia, ¿no? Y yo creo que es una manera también de, desde pequeños, abrir el corazón y mantenerlo abierto, el corazón, que es, tanto nos falta, nos hace a todos, ¿no? Tener un corazón
Ujú,
abierto, que él saca el corazón, para hacer la diferencia en la vida de los demás. Y escuché algunas cosas que decía Gopala, Y sí, la verdad es que hay que trabajar mucho. Igual sabemos que hay muchas herramientas. Esta es una herramienta espectacular, Rainbow Kids Yoga, y hay que aplicarlas para realmente hacer la diferencia en la vida de los demás, ¿no? En la nuestra y en la de los demás. Porque
Totalmente.
podemos ver el mundo y no hay que, no hay que ¿cómo se dice? Como aislarnos o tratar de no ver las cosas, porque al final del día yo creo que todos somos responsables de todo lo que está pasando.
Ujú.
Así no conozcamos a la gente que está al otro lado del mundo y lo que están haciendo, pero somos responsables de eso que ocurre a nivel colectivo, ¿no? Por nuestro nivel de conciencia. Entonces yo creo que además esto de divertido nos hace hacer ese cambio en los niños, ¿no? Y los niños es donde está todo. O sea, ahí todos somos pequeños y vamos, si crecemos con buenos valores, y no lo de cuestiones morales, sino siempre pues, de amar al prójimo, realmente de ejercer ese amor incondicional que es una tarea enorme, pero si empezamos desde ahí, desde pequeños, yo creo que podemos hacer la diferencia en este mundo, ¿no? Y dejar aunque sea algo, aportar un poquito, ¿no? Yo creo que y eso es una manera de empezar a hacer los cambios. Y de verdad, la gente que si no conoce el entrenamiento, tome ese entrenamiento. De verdad, yo he visto varios entrenamientos para niños y este es espectacular, es divertido, tiene muchas herramientas muy bonitas, es muy bonito el entrenamiento.
Muchas
De verdad que
gracias.
sí lo recomiendo. Y vamos, yo creo que la gente que lo ha tomado, que hay muchos, no me dejarán mentir, pueden decir lo mismo. Hay muchos testimonios de es un entrenamiento espectacular, divertido y bueno, y Gopala como persona lo conozco hace muchos años y es una gran persona, de un gran corazón, tiene
Ujú.
una gran historia y es siempre comprometido a la enseñanza. Y de verdad que tomen el entrenamiento, vengan a Centro
Ujú.
UNAM, les vamos a tratar como familia, con mucho amor, les vamos a cuidar, que tengan un buen fin de semana de entrenamiento y aseguramos que lo disfruten y que se lleven muchas herramientas para transmitir a los niños, ¿no?
Muchas gracias, Luis. Sí, y por cierto, por si no estaban como, no sabían, la única fecha que tenemos en Latinoamérica para entrenamiento en vivo, en persona, es justamente en Centro Nama, aquí en Ciudad de México, el próximo 19 de julio. Ya es, creo que la próxima semana, si no estoy perdida en los tiempos, pero me parece que sí, ya es como pronto. Entonces, todavía hay lugares por si quieren pregunten, manden mensaje, ya estamos aquí 4 personas que tenemos como datos, pero en la página y lo que sea lo pueden encontrar, pero lo decía bien Luis, somos 35,000 personas graduadas a nivel mundial, formando la tribu más grande del mundo de yoga, de yoga para niños, de maestros que quieran hacer la diferencia. No, no es casualidad que seamos tantas almas, ¿no? Queriendo justamente conectar desde otro lugar, tanto con nuestra niña o nuestro niño interior como con los que tenemos enfrente, que es una gran responsabilidad, pero también un gran honor.
Entonces, oye, Jimmy, y algo muy importante, decirle a la gente, no tienen que ser maestras o maestros de yoga, pueden llegar
Ujú.
sin experiencia y de verdad llevarse muchas herramientas, no es un requisito.
Sí, tienes toda la razón. Hemos tenido maestras de escuelas, pero también abuelitas que quieren ser las abuelitas más cool, haciendo rainbow yoga. También maestras de música, educadores, psicoterapeutas, profesores de yoga, o de verdad puede ser tu primera aproximación al yoga, pero que pues qué increíble que sea esta la manera, de una manera divertida, de una manera conectada, de una manera libre, lúdica, sin exigencias, sin pose, pero con mucho que dar, que finalmente esa es la intención que tenemos, mucho como de todo esto que bien decía Gopala, nosotros eh, quisimos tal vez tener estas herramientas en las infancias, cuando nosotros éramos niños, no las tuvimos, pero ahora las aprendimos a la edad que sea y además de llevarlas a cabo, las podemos compartir con lo que nos rodea y eso es lo que importa ahora.
Así es.
Sí,
So yes, like Mena said, the training is just in about a week from now. So we invite you to join. We never refuse anyone because of money. So if you have a problem with payment, just get in touch with us by email at info at rainbowyogatraining.com, info at rainbowyogatraining.com, and we can share a discount with you or a payment plan and make it work. We really do want to see kids' life and family this life and just becoming better and better. We are here really for nothing less than making the world a better place, and we want to see you being a part um, of our beautiful mission. Um, yeah, so please join us. Jimena is going to teach the training in Central
Great.
Nam with beautiful Luis over there. So we'll see you there.
Yeah.
And I thought we can finish today with just a little meditation to
Awesome.
help us re-enter the world with a bit of a happier mind after this hour together. And again, when we take responsibility of our own mental health, then we can better be here for others. And by sharing this gift with other people, we are taking huge steps to make the world a better place. And um, you don't need to be perfect to be a yoga teacher. It's actually the most messed up people in the world that are the best yoga teachers,
Yeah.
because if nothing ever happened to you in life, you have nothing to teach. So if you are yourself experiencing mental health um, issues like depression, anxiety, stress, um, this your own experience is a gift that you can share with the world. And many times the best way to learn is to teach. When you learn yoga, and when you share it with others, it's the most uplifting experience. Sometimes I feel down, especially with kids. I feel down. I come into class and I'm happy and fun, and sometimes I just pretend for the first few minutes, but when I leave the class, I'm transformed. It's like medicine for me.
It's
Um,
therapeutic.
teach yoga
Yeah.
to kids. Yeah, yeah. And the more I teach it, the more tools I learn myself and apply them more and more in my life. It's becoming more and more a part of me, and then I have more to share. Yeah. um, but it's all our own experiences in life give us this ability to help others with their problems. So please join us, and let's end with this. Unless, Mena, do you have anything else to say? Or
Yes, I would like to say that Jimena, she's the best teacher. Also,
Oh,
es
thank you.
muy buena maestra. De verdad, toma de entrenamiento. O sea, la
Ay, qué lindo.
tecnología de
Muchas
Gopala y con una gran maestra que es Jime, la van a pasar increíble, amazing.
Muchas gracias. Y si tampoco pueden asistir en persona porque la fecha no les da, tenemos las formaciones también en línea. Está la formación del nivel 1, tenemos ya la formación que es el nivel 2 también en línea. Por si estás en otra esquina del mundo y no puedes asistir, siempre hay la manera. Y bien lo dice Gopala. Se puede, siempre se puede, siempre hay una manera. Esto que dice de, de que a veces las personas como que tenemos más problemas, somos los que a veces somos los que más tenemos que compartir. Venía yo en camino para acá manejando y pensaba como, wow, que me dio como un segundo de este síndrome del impostor, de cómo voy a poder yo compartir algo de salud mental con el grado de estrés y síntomas físicos por la ansiedad. Y entonces por un segundo fue como, pues por eso, porque los estás viviendo, porque estás trabajando las herramientas, las estás aplicando. Justo, a veces, tristemente, hasta que no lo experimentamos, no somos tan expertos, ¿no? Y ojalá que nadie tenga que pasar por esto para poder compartirlo, pero no importa si tienes o no experiencia, si estás en un lugar de salud mental espectacular o si no tienes ni idea, este es el momento y este es el mensaje que estabas esperando justo pues para unirte a la tribu. Así que muchas gracias y Gopala nos va a compartir una meditación.
gracias. Okay, so if you can, unless if you are driving,
No.
close your yeah, and take a few deeper breaths, deeper than usual. And maybe see if you can feel the breath being like waves. So when you breathe in, like you align in the warm ocean, somewhere tropical in Mexico, maybe Tulum or Cancun. When you breathe in, those beautiful waves are lifting you up, and when you breathe out, they lower you down. Those waves are gentle, they are caressing you in this beautiful, warm, turquoise ocean. Breathing in, they take you up. Breathing out, they lower you down. And in fact, we breathe about 20,000 breaths a day. But how many of those breaths are you aware of? So now try to make every breath count. Breathing means that you are alive. And life is a gift. Life is fragile. And even though life is difficult sometimes, it's also full of gifts. It is beautiful. And now as you keep breathing, I want you to smile. Put a big smile on your face, even if you don't feel happy right now. Smiling is the advanced version of every yoga pose and every meditation. If you can do it with a smile, you are an advanced practitioner. And smiling, a big smile now, smiling like this even when you're not happy is not fake. Smiling is just a way to send messages to your brain that you can be happy. It's sending messages to your body, to your brain that life is beautiful, that life is worth it. And even among the difficulties, there are gems everywhere. The most beautiful lotus flowers, they grow in very muddy, murky water, even dirty water. And as you breathe and smile now, you can smile at anything that you want. You can smile at um, something that happened to you yesterday or last week. You can smile at something you are worried about that will happen later today or tomorrow. You can smile at your feelings. You can smile at your thoughts. You can even smile at people that are annoying you. So just breathe and smile. And with these gentle smiles and some love back into your life. Because smiling, it helps us find a little bit more compassion. Life is not perfect. And we are not perfect. But life is magical. Things happen. We make mistakes. But the next moment, the next day, we have an opportunity to do it a little bit better, with a little bit bigger smile. So breathe and smile. And remember, next time that you feel worried or anxious or sad, you can take a moment again to close your eyes and breathe and smile. Smile at the good things, smile at the things that bother you, and see if it helps you feel a little bit better. Yeah. When you feel better, remember to share this gift with the people that you love and with the people around you, because the world needs a lot more smiles, especially now. When you're ready, open your eyes. And again, thank you so much for being here with us for the last hour. And thank you, Mena. Thank you for teaching the training in Central Nam, the Rainbow Kids Yoga training weekend. Not this weekend, the one after. And thank you, Luis, for hosting us. And thank you, all the beautiful people, all of our grads for keep sharing the gifts that we shared with you, keep sharing them onwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. We have two family classes that we are sharing also in Mexico City. In the yoga conference, en el encuentro de yoga, vamos a estar compartiendo también 2 clases de yoga en familia para que traigan a sus familias y se acerquen a esta experiencia que está maravillosa. Esa es el 27 y 28 de julio. Vamos a tener también toda la información en el perfil de Rainbow Yoga. Súper. Gracias.
Chao.
Cuídense mucho. Un gusto.
Todo.
Thank you, Gopala. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gopala.
Bye.
Gracias,
you.
Luis. Gracias, Bettina. Gracias. Chao.
Bye.
Amor.